Hello you beautiful nuggets. Today I'm going to do a video titled something along the lines of a beginner's guide to being more eco-friendly and 4 steps to try and fight climate change. So if you are not aware of climate change and what is going on at the moment, it's a pretty serious situation and probably the largest challenge which humanity is facing at the moment. So hopefully this video can empower you to take some positive action to join me and try and be a little bit more eco-friendly. Brief disclaimer over here, I know that I am very far from perfect when it comes to living a sustainable lifestyle, but I am doing my best and that's all that any of us can do. So hopefully you guys can join me in trying to make some sustainable swaps. Let's go. Let's start with number 1, which is learn about the situation and expose yourself to what is really happening. Living a more eco-friendly lifestyle can sometimes be a little bit inconvenient, so you need to have some deep-rooted motivation to keep you on track, and the best way to find this motivation is to learn about the climate change situation and what huge issues we're potentially and most likely going to be facing over the next decade to the next century and all future generations. We are currently on a trajectory which is plummeting us straight towards a climate catastrophe which is going to hit us within the next 10, 15, 20, 30 years. By 2050 it's going to be a pretty dire situation. So it's time for us to act now. So yes, the first thing you can do is learn about the extent of this situation. I do have a resources page on my website which has tons of different books, articles, podcasts, videos, documentaries you can watch, which can help you learn about climate change and what's happening. One book I'm recommending to everybody right now, like this is the #1 book you need to read to really learn about what's happening to our planet, is called The Uninhabitable Earth, A Story of the Future by David Wallace Wells. It's a little bit scary, but it's also intensely motivating. Like nothing else I've ever read has motivated me as much as this book. So if you really want to learn about what's happening to our planet, pick this up. I will leave a link down below in the description box for you. Having that knowledge and learning about what's happening to our planet will give you the motivation to make those conscious changes that every single one of us needs to make to support our planet. Don't be afraid of being afraid. Don't be afraid of being scared. Don't bury your head in the sand and fall victim to the ostrich effect of just being in blissful ignorance and hiding the facts from yourself, because they're gonna come and find you one day. So you might as well just learn about them and be a part of positive change. Embrace that fear, embrace it, use it, harness that energy and turn it into positive change, turn it into positive actions and be a part of the movement who are trying to fight against climate change. The second thing you can do to support the planet, be more eco-friendly and fight climate change is to take individual action. This is the sort of stuff that you see on social media all the time. People talking about things like using less plastic, eating less meat, etc, etc. These are daily actions you can take to support the planet. Every single one of us needs to take these daily actions, because if all of us did a few little things, it would add up to one massive change. There are 1,000,001 things which you can do to support the planet. I've made many videos about sustainable swaps and written many blog posts, so I'll leave a link down below to some articles which might be helpful for you. But to list some things off the top of my head: eat less meat, eat more plants, buy local, support sustainable businesses, reduce your food waste, sign up to a green renewable energy supplier, reduce your plastic use, reduce your water use, use public transport, buy less clothes, shop secondhand, compost your food if you can, get eco-friendly cleaning products, get reef-safe sun cream, fix your clothes when they break rather than throwing them away, pick up trash when you go to the park, pick up trash when you go to the beach, plant wildflowers on your windowsill to support the bees and the pollinators, because without the bees, we're pretty screwed. Let me know in the comments down below if you want me to make a YouTube video with tons of sustainable swaps and individual actions which you can take to support the planet. But in summary, step number 2 you can take to fight climate change is to make these individual sustainable swaps and positive changes. Boom. Step number 3 is to start a ripple effect. One of the most important things you can do when you learn about climate change is talk to other people, raise other people's consciousness. Your consciousness has been raised. You are now #woke. You are starting to make these sustainable swaps, all right? You need to make the other people in your life become a little bit more #woke too. One person making a change is so great, so valuable, so important, but you do not realize how much influence you have. For example, if you go into your office and you share a desk with 6 people and you go in with a reusable coffee cup, then suddenly you might influence 6 other people to get a reusable coffee cup. So instead of saving 1 disposable coffee cup a day, you've saved 7 a day, or even more if they get multiple coffees a day. You've saved so much resources being used into making coffee cups, which are then unrecyclable most of the time. You don't even realise this power that you have. You can influence so many people in your lives. There's so many ways you can do this. Number one, lead by example. Go into your office, go to your family, spend time with your boyfriend, and when you're with them, share the swaps that you're making. Make them and show them how awesome they make you feel, you know? If you're starting to eat a more plant-based diet, make an awesome plant-based meal, share it with your boyfriend and see if he likes it. And if he does, maybe you can start incorporating that into your weekly menu together, you know? Why not go to work and try and campaign for some sustainable swaps in the office? For example, you could get everybody to sign a petition to get a recycling bin put next to your group desk so that everybody can separate their trash and things get much more easily recycled. Simple things like that in a large workspace where maybe 10s, 20s, hundreds of people, even thousands of people work can have an absolutely massive difference. So don't be afraid to push for sustainable changes in your workplace as well. Of course, you can share things on social media. You can go on your Instagram stories. Even if you've got 50 followers on Instagram, go on there and share the fact that you've bought yourself a reusable bottle. Maybe leave a little fact in the caption saying, did you know that 14 million tons of plastic go into the ocean every single year? So that's why I got myself a reusable water bottle. Just drop those little nuggets onto your social media, and you never know who might read it and take action inspired by you. These conversations which we have with our friends, our family, our partners, online, on social media, they're the ones which can inspire change. And you never know who you're going to impact and who you're going to motivate to be a part of positive change and to try and fight climate change alongside you. So don't be afraid to share the sustainable swaps that you're doing with those around you. And the fourth and final thing that you can do to fight climate change, and this is a biggie, is to get involved in political action. Now that can sound quite scary, but this is really, really, really important. Now, often we get blamed for putting too much focus on individual action, which is things like you and me using reusable water bottles rather than buying single-use bottles, or us switching to using renewable energy rather than using fossil fuel energy, etc. But these individual actions are very, very important. They show people above us that we want change. They show people who are in the council or in the government, people who are making these big decisions, who are going to be affecting policies, that we, the consumer, the population, we want change. So definitely keep up with your individual action, but also definitely also get a little bit involved in political action as well. As I said, this can sound scary, but it really, really isn't. This can be as simple as signing a petition which you see on social media and then sharing it on your social media platforms to try and get your friends and family to sign it. Petitions can have a huge impact, so definitely don't be afraid to sign one. It can take 2 minutes of your time. This could be something a little bit bigger, like going to a protest, like the Extinction Rebellion protests in London a couple of weeks ago. It could be writing to your MP, writing to your local council, asking for swaps to happen. For example, if in your local council you don't have composting bins and you want to get your food waste composted, maybe try and get a few of your neighbours together and work together to get a policy change in your council where food waste bins are given to everybody in your area, and you can now start composting your food waste, which is really, really important thing to do. The reason why it's so important for us to get involved in political action is because not everybody is quite as woke as you and I, right? So me and you, we want to make changes to our everyday lives. We want to support the planet. There's a lot of people who either don't know or they don't care about climate change. So if we can get political change to happen, we can get policies to change and rules to change, then it means that everybody has to get involved in positive change to support the planet. Even those people who don't really care about it, they have to get involved because there's now a new policy or new legislation that's come into action. And that's pretty awesome. So we really need to support that. And finally, if changes do start to happen in your workplace, in your local council, in the whole country, political change, small change, big change, any change which is on a policy level, whether it's local, global, national, support that change, even if it's a little bit uncomfortable. For example, if it's a tax on a certain thing, or if it's some sort of 7 different recycling bins which your council has now put outside your house, and you're thinking, oh my goodness, it's such a faff for me to have to sort all of my recycling to 7 different bins. That could be an absolute game changer in terms of how much waste goes to landfill and how much gets recycled, upcycled, downcycled, etc. So I know it might be a little bit inconvenient, but please try and support any political change which you do see happening, because that shows that we want it and therefore more change will happen. So those are the 4 things which you can do to be more eco-friendly and to fight climate change. Number 1, learn about what's happening. Number 2, individual action. Number 3, start a ripple effect. And number 4, support political change. As far as I can see, we're heading on a pretty scary trajectory towards a place which we don't really want to be in with the planet. It's not going to be pleasant for anybody involved. So if we can start taking positive action now, that is really, really, really important. I think every single one of us, every person who lives on this planet has some kind of responsibility to try and support it. It's like paying the rent, you know? You got to pay your rent to live here by trying to take care of your home. Please don't be scared into inaction for fear of not being perfect. None of us are perfect. Nobody is perfect. None of us in our modern Western world can live a perfectly sustainable lifestyle. It's nigh on impossible nowadays, but all of us can do our best and all of us can support positive change. So please don't be scared to just start. Just start with one sustainable swap. Start with signing one petition. Just do one positive thing, and then hopefully it'll be a bit of a waterfall effect from there, a domino effect from there. That's what I mean. A domino effect where all of these different changes start happening and you can be a part of it. In reality, we don't need 100 people being perfectly environmentally friendly and 100% sustainable. We need billions and millions of people being a little bit imperfect but trying their best. So please don't be scared to start. Just get involved. We all need to do this together. So I hope that you enjoyed this video and you're feeling a little bit more motivated and inspired to be a little bit more eco-friendly. If you are, then please give this video a cheeky thumbs up and subscribe to my channel, and I'll see you guys super soon. Leave a comment down below. Bye.